something that quite interested me again on the Reddit. I am very interested to hear about your opinion on this. Should DayZ have GPSs? So the user on the DayZ subreddit posted by Unreal_Dream 3 days ago. I think they should remove the tourist map and instead give us a GPS map device. Should be a rare item. Now, I'll say what I think first, and then we'll go on. Keep the tourist map. Don't let other people... Like, I don't think you should be able to see where other players are. But you should be able to see where you are. Think of it as kind of like, you got the tourist map, you're on the coast. You find one, you have to figure out where you are. Then you get into like the higher tier zones, like really in the map. And you find a GPS device. You power it. You have to power it. You can attach it to yourself, but you have to use it in your hand to have like a similar system as the tourist map. So your vision get obscured by the map, but you can see where you are exactly. And I think that should be the extent of it. So that way you do have a form of an upgrade path, I guess you could say, from tourist map, where you kind of have to figure out everything where you're going on, and then whereas when you got the GPS, it's a lot more helpful, but you are still hindered by the game mechanics where you can't be armed, you can't just press M or something like that to bring up the GUI and stuff like that. You still have to be on your toes, you still have to hide somewhere to check exactly where you are and go on from there. That's what I think. Take it away, Dump.
No, I think the idea is a bit, for lack of a better word, naive.
Right.
It's coming from somebody who wants DayZ to have a buddy system, a friend system, or whatever, and that's kind of not what DayZ is going for. However, I'm not against the idea of a GPS in the game, as long as the GPS works like real-life wilderness GPSs. And the way wilderness GPSs work is when I boot up a GPS, it tells me coordinates on myself. It pings a satellite and tells me my X and Y coordinates on the world and orients me. And then I open a map and I can find myself, right? So my suggestion is you need to have a tourist map. And when you have a GPS, when you open your tourist map, it tells you where you are. And this theoretically is your player using the coordinates of the map to find yourself. And you can be a big red dot in the area you're at. It doesn't give you precise coordinates where you're at, but it gives you a general area. And then you can use things like road signs, town signs, and stuff like that to really narrow it down. That is what I would like to see. And it's very simple. All you have to do is have a GPS, a map, and a battery.
That's an actually interesting take. I like that.
What you're expecting, huh?
No. No, but Lemons, what do you think, mate? What do you think?
So when I saw this, I had something shooting in my head, and it was with, I think it was either 1.16 or 1.17, but they added the feature for you to disable the 3D function or enable the 3D function for tourist maps, so that it wouldn't open that clunky GUI, and it would instead just open it in your hand so you could actually view it like an item. If they were to implement the GPS, what I think they should do is make it so that by default, the tourist map opens up in 3D, but then the GPS uses that GUI from the old tourist map. It would make a lot more sense because it feels a lot more digital using that, and opening up in your hands should be the default for the tourist maps, because a lot of people, even on console, it is a hell of a challenge to even use tourist maps if you use that old system. It's just way too clunky, and we don't have the proper stuff to be able to run it properly.
Okay.
And having it like that would just make a lot of sense. They would be able, it would give them a chance to revitalize their systems, because it is a bit older. Their map system, like the digital version, it is a bit older, and it does need a bit of love, 100%. But this would give them the opportunity to revitalize that and renew it, and then they could see that incorporated into the GPS. Because I feel like it would be a lot more suitable for that. Because if anyone here has used the tourist map with that enabled, it just feels like you're looking through a satellite map or a GPS map, So I feel it would be a lot more better to use it as like a digital thing with a GPS tracker instead of having it with the tourist map, and just having the tourist map as like a low tier item you can open up and look, because then it would force you to want to upgrade, because I'm not sure how many people on console have used that new feature, but it's amazing to be able to see the map in a 3D space, but it's still difficult to be able to use it for navigation. Just like in real life, if you're going down the streets with this big map in your hands, trying to get yourself through.
I see no issue.
It would, yep. It would force the progression of players to go down to higher tiered areas to get that digital version. So, what are your thoughts on that?
I like both ideas. I like Dump's I like Dump Girl's ideas because it's more intricate and it's more authentic, right? And that's great, And I mean, I've never used the Wilderness GPS, so obviously I have to take your word for it. And then on a gameplay balance for like a general player, I like Lemons' idea.